matter of life and death.
Who is it, dear?
There's a young man here. He says there's been an accident. He wants to use the telephone.
Well, I suppose you better let him in.
Well, wait a minute, will you? I'm sorry, but we don't usually let strangers in the middle.
Right, Pete, check the rest of the house. 10. I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. Sun's in my heart, and I'm ready for love.
Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I'll walk down the lane with a happy refrain. Just singing, singing in the rain. Dancing in the rain. I'm happy again. I'm singing and dancing in.
Never had a man in here before.
With the rain, I've a smile on my face. You ready for that? Walk down the lane with a happy refrain. And I'm singing, just singing in the rain. Pretty well, little brother, pretty well.
Why do we behave the way we do? It's a question asked by poets and philosophers and theologians since time immemorial. The playground of Shakespeare, Dostoevsky, Freud, the stuff of Crime and Punishment and Beyond the Pleasure Principle. The greatest minds in history have been fascinated by the vagaries of behavior. So, in a case where we can't immediately divine motive, we shouldn't panic. It's a riddle, but it can be solved. It's complex, but it's human.
Thank you, Holden. That was very illuminating.
I had a lot of dreams, and I guess you could call me a real romantic, because I truly believed that one day they'd come true. So I dreamed about it for hours. But as the years went by, I learned to stop sharing this with people. They said I was dreaming, but back then, I believed it wholeheartedly. So whenever I was down, I would just escape into my mind, to my other life, where I was someone else. It made me happy to think that all these people just didn't know yet who I was gonna be. But one day, they'd all see.
Look for severe childhood disturbances associated with violence. Our Billy wasn't born a criminal, Clarice. He was made one through years of systematic abuse.
Nobody wanted me, man. Nobody on this earth ever wanted me. Put that on your fucking tape. If only they'd let me stay with my dad, it'd all be different.
You see all this, the lights, the show, the audience, all that stuff. I'd give it all up in a heartbeat to have a kid like you.
Have a nice car, house, Yeah, in the backyard perfecting my recipe for barbecue. I'd have found my way.
So they threw me out in the snow. Screaming out, you know, I'm a whore and they're so embarrassed and they hate me and all that. So that was it. I just took off, never went back.
That's really sad. You know, your own family doing that to you.
Yeah, but that's how people are, Selby.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Fuck them. Who needs them?
You know, women were initially indifferent to me. They weren't interested in sharing. My whole life, no one wanted to interact with me, not even our cats.
Go on, honey. Go on. You can go play with her. Come on, Paige. Time to go. Come on, honey. Grandma's waiting for us. Brian, we don't stare. Remember? It's impolite. Look at me. I need you to come home so we can...
And my mother would yell and scream at me, tell me I was sick. She thought I was going to do something hideous one day.
What did she think you were gonna do?
I guess rape my sister or something.
Penny, your son was found tied to a radiator in your filthy apartment, malnourished with multiple bruises across his body and severe trauma to his head.
I never heard him cry. He's always been such a happy little boy.
I haven't been happy 1 minute of my entire fucking life. You know what's funny? You know what really makes me laugh? I used to think that my life was a tragedy. But now I realize it's a fucking comedy.
If there's one thing I know, it's this. A mother should not scorn her own son. If a woman humiliates her little boy, he will become hostile and violent and debased. Period. And I knew I was gonna kill her. You know. I was honest with myself for the first time. Because I'm not a lizard. I'm not from under a rock. I came out of her vagina. I came out of my mother.
He called it a vocation.
Killing women.
Yeah.
Jesus. How do you wrap your mind around that?
Couldn't attract them. Didn't have the social skills.
That would describe a lot of guys. Why does he hate women?
Chicks. What can you do?
can't live with them.
Women are born with this little hole between their legs, which every man on earth just wants to stick something into. And they're weaker than men, so they learn strategies. They deploy their minds and their sex, and they intuitively learn to humiliate.
It's like the idea of doing it pops in your head like a sneeze.
That's what it takes, commitment. You go out every night, but maybe once every few weeks you find the right girl, in the right place, the right time. I never knew what I was looking for, but I knew her when I saw her.
Do you think that even before the first one, he fantasized about murdering a woman?
Definitely.
What do you think he fantasized about?
Choking them, chopping them up, all that stuff they said I did.
So the murders were just an extension of thoughts he already had, maybe for a long time.
Well, you'd have to think about it pretty hard to go through with it. You'd have to be driven.
You mean like out of control?
Maybe his real life was out of control, but his fantasy life was
a place where he could feel powerful.
It's a taxing lifestyle. A lot of factors that go into success. As I got better, I was very careful that all conditions were exactly right. This person you're after, he has an overwhelming fantasy life. Fantasies of what he's done, what he wants to do, how he's going to improve. These dreams will consume him. Soon the real world won't even compare.
Who are you, John? Who are you really?
What do you mean?
All I mean at this stage, what harm can it do to tell us a bit about yourself?
It's not what you think it is, all right?
I know what it is. No, you don't know my life, Selby.
But I know yours. And I've done everything in the whole wide world, hoping that you'd never have to know. So you could go on thinking that people are good and kind, and that should make sense, you know? Because I love that about you, Sel. But I can't.
No, I don't want to hear this, Lee.
I know. But you need to.
We can be as different as we want to be, but you can't kill people.
Says who? I'm good with the Lord.
I'm fine with him.
Is that to say, John, that what you were doing was God's good work?
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
Making children disappear is the war we wage with God. Makes people lose their faith. Turns them into demons like you.
People kill each other every day. And for what? For politics. For religion.
And they're heroes. No, there's a lot of shit I can't do anymore.
But killing's not one of them. And letting those fucking bastards out there go and rape somebody else isn't either.
No, Lee, that was one man. They can't all have been bad.
You know me. You think I could do it otherwise? I'm not a bad person. I'm a real good person, right?
Wait a minute, I thought...
All you did was kill innocent people.
Innocent? Is that supposed to be funny? An obese man? A disgusting man who could barely stand up? A man who, if you saw him on the street, you'd point him out to your friends so that they could join you in mocking him? A man who, if you saw him while you were eating, you wouldn't be able to finish your meal? And after him, I picked the lawyer, and you both must have secretly been thanking me for that one. This is a man who dedicated his life to making money by lying with every breath that he could muster to keeping murderers and rapists on the streets.
Murderers.
A woman.
Murderers, John, like
A
yourself.
woman. So ugly on the inside that she couldn't bear to go on living if she couldn't be beautiful on the outside. A drug dealer, a drug-dealing pederast, actually. And let's not forget the disease-spreading whore. Only in a world this shitty could you even try to say these were innocent people and keep a straight face.
Du willst also damit sagen, dass du morden musst? Immer muss ich durch Straßen gehen und immer spüre ich, da ist einer hinter mir her. Das bin ich selber und verfolgt mich. Lautlos. Aber ich höre es doch. Ja, manchmal ist mir, als ob ich selber hinter mir herliefe. Ich will davon, von mir selber davonlaufen. Aber ich kann nicht, kann mir nicht entkommen. Muss den Weg gehen, den es mich jagt. Muss rennen, endlose Straßen. Ich will weg, Und mit mir rennen die Gespenster von Müttern, von Kindern. Die gehen nie mehr weg. Die sind immer da. Immer. Nur nicht, wenn ich's tue. Wenn ich... Dann weiß ich von nichts mehr.
We today have concluded an agreement to end the war and bring peace with honor in Vietnam.
Charles Manson for the Tate LaBianca mass murder, pleaded guilty in the Vietnam. Charles Manson for the Tate LaBianca mass murder, pleaded guilty. Charles Manson for the Tate LaBianca mass. Charles Manson.
What's the matter? Are you afraid I'll tell Jim Morrison you were dancing to Paul Revere and the Raiders? Are they not cool enough for you?
This is Shaggy, asshole.
Hello, can I help you?
Oh, yeah, hey, man, I'm looking for Terry. I'm a friend of Terry's and Dennis Wilson's.
Well, Terry and Candy don't live here anymore. This is the Polanski residence now.
Really? You moved? Dang. You know where?
I'm not sure, really, but the owner of the property called me.
Who is it, Jay?
It's okay, honey. It's a friend of Terry's. You just take the back path.
Thank you kindly. Ma'am?
Monster. Right? I think we can all agree. But what do you really know about him? Do you know that his mother was a jailbird and a prostitute? Do you know when he was 10 years old, she palmed him off onto his sadistic, Bible-thumping uncle who beat him within an inch of his life and taunted him to act like a man? Charles responded to that by becoming a pimp and an armed robber and was incarcerated for over 20 years where he continued to be brutalized. In 1967, he was paroled during the Summer of Love. And our nightmare began.
Oh, honey, how are you? I love it. Oh, and this is the nursery. Oh my gosh. Do you love it? How? I'm about to burst. I think you're gonna be a wonderful mother. Thank you.
Sharon had two friends move into the Cielo Drive residence while Roman was in London preparing his next movie. Wojtek Frykowski, an old friend of Roman's from Poland, and his girlfriend, social worker Abigail Folger, heiress to the vast Folger coffee empire. That night, Sharon, her two house guests, and naturally Jay, all went to the West Hollywood Mexican restaurant landmark El Coyote on Beverly for dinner.
What's going on at the Dirty Movie Place?
Well, they're having a premiere.
Dirty movies have premieres?
Yeah, they're fun.
Here we have a child who was unwanted, unloved, regularly beaten, and repeatedly institutionalized. Now, might this not have had some sort of an effect on him?
He was born that way.
What way?
Just bad.
Can we be a little bit more specific? Technically, he didn't kill anybody.
Look at those eyes. How can you not say that dude's evil?
That's a little bit Old Testament, don't you think? Good, evil, black, white, it's easy. But who in this room has a life that's easy? Circumstances affect behavior. When we look at Manson's background, the real question is, how could we not have seen this coming?
We did.
I'm sorry?
He was institutionalized because we could see it coming.
Okay, but I'm saying maybe, just maybe, locking him up his young life helped make him what he was.
No.
What the fuck?
They locked him up because of what he did. They already knew what he was.
Okay, guys, I'm not asking anybody to feel sorry for Charles Manson.
If he were here right now, I'd shoot him dead and no one would stop me.
I think what Holden's trying to say is maybe it's both. The one impacting on the other in a vicious circle.
When it comes to these kinds of things, nobody has all the answers.
We have some answers.
We should be asking questions.
No shit. Well, I'll just tell my buddies in robbery homicide who were there when the corpses were found that they may have overlooked a difficult upbringing.
You were LAPD?
22 years.
You were Manson?
No, but I knew every single man who did. How many homicides have you worked?
So Manson, huh?
Word travels fast.
Oh, it's hard to keep something like that quiet. Everybody knows when Charlie takes a shit, and if you haven't heard, he'll tell you all about it. Even if somebody else took the shit for him.
Right.
He's never done that. Doesn't know what it's like.
You're saying he's not worth our attention?
The mayhem has been copiously mythologized. If you really want to understand how that all went down, you should talk to Tex.
The all-American pawn?
Yeah. One more thing. Manson is really small. Like really small. Try not to stare.
Like a fucking king.
sun. Illusion has been just a dream. I was when the sun shining. So spring on as long as
All grew up in average homes, had high school education, some had college. Then all became runaways and somehow washed up in Manson's family.
Still, the question remains, how does a guy like that get kids like that to do that?
Do you mind if we record this?
Over the years, some members have blamed you for the murders, then changed their story. Others, quite famously, have protected you. You seem to have a hold on them, even from prison. But no matter what they say, you maintain the same story.
Because my truth is simple, and your truth is complicated.
Complicated how?
Well, you don't see it, but the only truth is now. Now is the only thing that's real.
Well, we're mainly interested in then. How you met, influenced, and indoctrinated the people who followed you.
Indoctrinated? Come on, man.
You have to understand, we were all one. We were part of the all. We thought the same thoughts. And Charlie kept saying that if Blackie didn't start Helter Skelter soon, then we'd have to show him how. He chose Cielo Drive because he'd been there before.
So that was his idea?
They were all his ideas.
But he didn't go with you?
Charlie wasn't about getting his hands dirty.
He did go to the house.
Only after it was all over.
Did Charlie give you or the girls any specific orders?
He told me to kill everyone.
Go to Terry's old house and kill everybody in there. And you heard him yourself. He said make it witchy. Now, he either said that, or I'm a liar. Now, any one of you calling me a liar? How about you? Are you calling me a liar?
No, of course not.
These people you call a family, they're just children that you didn't want. You threw them out like trash. So I picked them up off the side of the road and I said this, in love, there is no wrong.
Love? That's what you taught your family?
You're a family man, Agent Towns?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a family man too, with his keys and his gun. He's teaching his children right now. They're learning his beliefs, and they'll be living them. And you're teaching your children. Look at yourself. Judge the lies you live in. These children that come at you with knives, they're your children.
They were your followers, Charlie. You gave them the knife.
You taught them. I didn't teach them.
So how did that become the story?
It was Sadie who started hearing messages in the White Album.
Dig this. When we've been having our trip sessions, I've been expanding on this one idea in my head. Dig it. We all grew up watching TV, you know what I mean? And if you grew up watching TV, that means you grew up watching murder. Every show on TV that wasn't I Love Lucy was about murder. So, my idea is, we kill the people who taught us to kill. I mean, where the fuck are we, man? We are in fucking Hollywood, man. The people an entire generation grew up watching kill people live here. And they live in pig shit fucking luxury. I say fuck them. I say we cut their cocks off and make them eat it.
That's a great idea, Sadie.
You two ready to kill some piggies?
Don't tell no lie. Don't make me sad. Don't pass me by. Maybe are you holding anything but me? 'Cause I'm a real straight shooter, if you know what I mean.
You have to remember, those people, they were just shapes. They had no faces. Sadie was outside hollering for me. She had this woman pinned on the lawn. So I stabbed her.
You stabbed Abigail Folger 28 times.
Yeah.
She was practically dead when I got there.
Frykowski had 51 stab wounds.
I remember the knife going up and down like hammering an engine block until my fist disappeared in the mess.
Those kids were looking at me with hard eyes. Yeah, your kids. Tex Watson, the All-American boy, the pride of Coltville, Texas. I have better sense than to disagree with him. So I said this, you do what your love tells you to do, I'll do what my love tells me. Now, whatever he did, that's up to him. He'll have to explain it.
And then?
And then we went into the living room.
Where Sharon Tate was. Could you see she was pregnant?
Oh, yeah. She begged us to take her with us, let her have her baby, and kill her after.
Tex?
Didn't seem crazy at the time, the idea of taking her. But I kept hearing Charlie's voice, kill them all. He told me over and over again, make sure everyone's dead.
So you made sure?
I did what Charlie told me.
Charles Manson, the most dangerous man alive. Hippie cult leader who programmed people to kill. In that book, he's got me so powerful, a look for me stopped his watch. I lay there in my cell wondering, wow, am I really all they say? I was halfway believing that shit myself.
You're a coward, Charlie. A coward who takes no responsibility for his actions.
Yeah, you eat meat with your teeth, you kill things that are better than you, and then you say your children are killers.
No, I'm saying you're a killer.
I have killed no one.
You ordered them to go to that house and slaughter everyone there.
I did not direct anyone to do anything other than what they wanted to do.
Do you think you would have ever killed anyone if you hadn't met Charlie?
I hope not. Pray to God I wouldn't have, but I know in my heart I harbored anger. I shot and I stabbed them. You know, I beat Frykowski's head with a pistol until it broke in my hand.
But Charlie told you to do it.
Charlie never killed anyone. He just removed our fear of doing it.
So you're taking responsibility?
I killed those people. All of them. Those people are victims of the Watson murders.
This anger that you're feeling, Agent 10, this is just the anger that you got for you. Find someone else to put yourself on. I'm tired of being your goat. I'm tired of being your reflection.
You're not my reflection.
I've always been yours. I've been in your cell since I was 8 years old. I don't even have a name. I'm B33920. A bell rings, I get up. A bell rings, I go out. A bell rings, I do what that bell says. I'm Pavlov's dog, man. I'm anything you want me to be. But what you want is a fiend, because that's what you are. See, I never had any say in your world. You created it. How do you feel about those murders? That's what counts. Happened in your world, not in mine.
Give up your world. Come on, you can be. I'm your kind.